Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super discussion video. This is once again a video on the pitch reel, but I am joined by MJ over at MJ TV to discuss with you kind of a follow-up video to my Dragon Ball Super movie pitch, Dragon Ball Parasite. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'm going to link it down in the description section below. Go make sure to check that out before coming back to this video for our discussion on that topic. Also, make sure to go check out and support MJ over on MJ TV. The guy makes some really awesome content. But with all of that being said, MJ, how are you doing today?
I am doing great, and for those wondering, we're on Discord right now, and Discord's being complete butt cheeks, and it's cutting us in and out, but here I am. We're gonna do this. We're gonna knock it out. This is a classic, guys. Get ready for your WrestleMania moment. I don't know what I'm doing. Thank you for having me.
No, that won't work here. Anyway, guys, so just to go over a brief little recap on Dragon Ball Parasite. Basically, my thought was a Dragon Ball Super horror movie, and I feel like this is definitely worth talking about, especially since we got a confirmation that there is going to be a new Dragon Ball movie in 2018. Probably not a Dragon Ball Super movie. We're just going to have to wait and see. We don't know exactly how much they're telling us right now, but definitely the time to talk about this. Really good time posting that. But basically, Dragon Ball Super horror movie with a parasite creature that we've never really met before, that's main ability is not necessarily fighting, but infecting its hosts and growing in power and strength by letting them face their fears, getting Bulma, Chi-Chi, Goku, Goten, Trunks, everyone to the point where they have to face the thing that they're most afraid of. One of the best things about that, MJ, that a lot of people commented on is, for anyone who's watched the video, one of the things I really wanted to hammer home is this is going to be, at least in my opinion, a Vegeta-centric film. You know, he's going to be there from almost the very beginning to the very end. He's going to be the guy who gets the win. It's going to be completely different in that regard than a Goku Ex Machina thing from the original 13 movies from Dragon Ball. And also, you know, the Dragon Ball Z ones that we got recently with Battle of Gods and Fakatsu no F. But the thing is a lot of people pointed out that Goku was afraid of needles. That was something that completely slipped my mind when I was actually making that pitch video. And I think that would actually be really funny. So just basically off of all of that, you've seen my original pitch. You and I have talked about it at length. I wanted to get your thoughts and opinions on it before we get into painting any pictures or elaborating on what it would really mean for the story, whether it would connect to the story, anything else like that. What are your thoughts?
Well, two big points here. Obviously, Vegeta being the main focus, that is good. That is something that other films haven't done. So you kind of creating this pitch around Vegeta, around his family, so also around Bulma as well. Creating this around them is really cool. Obviously, we're going to have the other characters there. You know, you can't have the movie without Gohan and Goku. I mean, they'll be there, but to actually center this around Vegeta, that's really cool. That makes it different. A lot of people are going to love it, especially Maria, Miss DBZ babe. I know she would pay money to go see that over and over again. So you'll have this film about him. That's cool. That's already a plus, and that's something that I do like, because I remember you were painting this picture, I guess, if you will, to me on Discord and telling me about this and how you had this idea of Vegeta. I'm not going to get into it right now, but we'll get into it later. But I love what you had for Vegeta and how he progressed throughout this film, so that's cool. Second part is I like the fact that it's not a film just based on I'm stronger than you. I'm going to blow this place up. I'm going to blow this universe up. I'm going to blow this up. You know what I mean? It's more so about affecting them like internally and mentally. I think that's really cool. And you're messing with their fears. And Goku, I don't know what they could do with him with needles. I mean, just throw him in a needle haystack. I'm pretty sure he would freak out. But overall, I think it's a really cool concept. And for anyone who hasn't seen that, I think you guys should go at least check it out and really check that video out and listen to it in its entirety, because it is really cool. Very cool concept compared to the I'm strong, you know, me stronger than you, new form, blah, you know what I mean? So,
you know, the thing is the thing I really tried to do, kind of mentioned it in the video, but I wanted to kind of elaborate it on it a little bit more here. My thought is to blend two of the most critically acclaimed, at least in the fandom, movies from the original 13 Dragon Ball movies. If we're going to at least have this connected to Dragon Ball Super in some way, and at least in my opinion, I mean, this is something that can take place over a day or 2 days. It could really, if they wanted it to fit into the main timeline of Dragon Ball Super, it could literally just, this could even just be a little arc in Dragon Ball Super. It doesn't have to be a movie. It just has to be able to give Vegeta the spotlight, have all the characters be effective in one way or another, and basically eat up 90 minutes of runtime. That's really what I'm really hoping for here. But almost capturing the look and feel of the Wrath of the Dragon, the 13th movie in the franchise, where it's kind of dark, foreboding, and it's going to more of a character-esque type of portrayal for people, especially in the beginning of that movie. You got Trunks, Bulma, and Tapion have a whole lot of awesome scenes together, you know, and you also have some really cool moments with Gohan and Videl. Goku is not really in that movie. I mean, Goku comes in at the very end of the day and it saves the day, but he's not really the main focus of that movie. I think that's one of the reasons a lot of people like it. But also taking and picking and choosing a lot of things from the Fusion Reborn concept, where you bring back old characters and old enemies that have long since passed and have them haunt the people around them, the people that were afraid of them from time to time. And I think that is really a cool idea too, but wasn't ever done right, at least in my opinion, whether it was in Fusion Reborn, which kind of glossed over the whole thing with Frieza getting a one punch from Gohan, which was satisfying but a little underwhelming, and then Goten and Trunks having to fight off the entire Nazi party, or, you know, Goten and Trunks having to fight the entire army without anyone at their side, but not really focusing on anyone that they had fought previously. I think the point here is to have people fight the things and people they're afraid of most. Like I said at the beginning of that video, you have Bulma going up against the Frieza force. This is something that she's experienced quite a few times, and you have people like Zarbon that she did have some kind of an emotional connection to and repulsion by during the Namek arc. And then you also have Trunks and Goten having to face Boo, something you and I have talked about before. Dragon Ball Super has kind of forgotten about those two without basically forgetting the fact that they put the fate of the entire world on these kids' shoulders. I wonder how it affects their subconscious that they don't think about. But what if it was haunting them? What if Super Boo was haunting them and they couldn't fight him off or something like that? Of course, some people in the comment section below, and they're always fantastic for this. I mean, some people think about this way more than I do, at least even when I'm actually putting it together, writing down theories, writing down anything. But really, some people even said, you know, people like Piccolo, people like Gohan, people like even, you know, just the list goes on. But these characters, maybe even Vegeta, the thing that they might be afraid of more than anything is themselves. I mean, look how much Piccolo has changed, and what if he's haunted by what he wanted in the past? You know, I want world domination, I want all this other stuff. Imagine him seeing Gohan being, you know, basically murdered by him, or Gohan not being able to help anybody. You know, like that would be something really emotional to see, like Gohan running away from something, you know, once again being petrified in fear when Boo or Cell or any of these other people that he's fought in his entire life are taking down Videl and Pan, at least in his subconscious, whatever this thing is attacking. I mean, there's just so much potential here for some really very quick emotional scenes where we break down the fears and insecurities of all of these characters that we've known and loved. And that way, when we walk out of this movie, mini arc, whatever it is, special, it would be a way that we're all feeling a little bit closer to these people that we've known for so long, but we didn't know that they were suffering from this PTSD, this tension, this fear in them that they've never really faced. And this is one of the ways that we can have all of them kind of grow in one way or another and see that they've gotten over it, or they know that they have to deal with it later down the line, later down the story. It would be something epic to see. I know it's a little too emotional for Dragon Ball right now, but it would be really something I would be happy to see on screen. What are your thoughts on all of that?
I actually am gonna hit you with a mouthful in a second because remember I told you I had ideas and I was not lying. I have a lot of ideas on this. So yeah, I like that. Taking like the future Trunks arc, history of Trunks, a Wrath of the Dragon route, where like maybe you have them like entering tunnels, very dark and eerie, kind of on the run, you know what I mean? Not so much about flying around and blowing up dimensions and stuff, but just more so kind of like, I guess what's the word? Human-esque, like it's not about like the aliens and the the destruction of universes and stuff. It's about more of the human part and dealing with your fear, kind of tackling yourself mentally and internally. I think that's really, really cool concept, and I like taking that route because the potential is endless with all the characters because each of them have a very deep and dark past. I mean, even like Oolong, as much of a gag character he is, his past is kind of eerie, you know what I mean, for what he did. So it's like you can really take a lot of stuff. There's a lot of potential here, but I want to hit you with this. So you mentioned having this like a movie or an arc or a special. Now I would have this more so on the lines of a 90-minute movie or a 90-minute special. I'm gonna hit you with this 3-parter. So I want this to be the beginning of a long story arc. And again, you can disagree with me. I just want to hit you with this, and I want you to let me know what you think. So a 90-minute special focused just on the, people on Earth, mostly Vegeta being, the center of this story. Now, towards the end, once the parasite is gone with, we get like a little smirk. And like they do that stuff with like the shadows covering the rest of the face. All you see is the mouth, and it's just a smirk. Then the next special is about Beerus and Whis. So again, I'm kind of getting a bit off topic here, but stay with me. I'm gonna hit you with a mouthful. The next special is about Beerus and Whis, and we finally get a backstory to Beerus and Whis. That stuff we've always wanted, seeing Beerus train, seeing Beerus come up. How did he become a god of destruction? Who did he replace? And then we see his rivalry with Kitella. So then we see the rivalry with Kitella kind of progress. We see them maybe have fights and sparring sessions where maybe Beerus won. Then we finally see that infamous, because it is still Dragon Ball. We got to keep it at least some comedic, We get that infamous arm wrestling scene where Kitella beat Beerus, you know what I mean? So we're getting that rivalry there. And then the film kind of concludes with Beerus and Whis landing on Earth, you know what I mean? After, the whole Parasite stuff ended with. Now we find out that the one who sent the parasite was Kitella. And this kind of makes a bit of sense. I'm gonna hit you with this. You remember he did send Ganos, which was the spy, to watch over Capsule Corp. So they, to our assumption, saw Brawl be born. They saw Bulma. They saw these other characters and not just the fighters at Capsule Corp. And they saw Vegeta and stuff. So again, that ties in why Vegeta and Bulma were kind of centric there, because him being so conniving, Kitella sent a parasite to prey on the Universe 7 team who defeated him in the Tournament of Power. We're assuming they get brought back. So he went to, prey on them, and he didn't go after Beerus because he was saving it for Beerus because he saw his reaction to Goku. He knows how, even though he finds it weird, he sees these mortals are actually connected to Beerus. So he wanted to destroy these guys from the inside out with their fears and stuff and kind of, take them down that way to hurt Beerus, to anger Beerus. And then he would deal with Beerus, but the plan backfired. So then we get into the little mini arc. And this is the conclusion of the 2 specials. And we come it all together where we have Kitella, who is the main villain, the God of Destruction villain, comes in. And now when we saw Beerus and Whis being the main focus of the 2nd special, we saw Vegeta and Bulma and the people on Earth being the main focus of the 1st special. It all comes full circle with the 3rd special with Kitella versus Beerus and maybe some of his henchmen versus Goku and Vegeta and them. And then we kind of bring it full circle with that Dragon Ball-esque feeling where it's like, a fight for your life, survival now. Because we can always headcanon that maybe Kitella didn't pick strong fighters for the Tournament of Power because he thought they weren't even going to enter. He thought Universe 7 was going to be done with by the assassins, you know what I mean? So you could probably argue there's stronger fighters in Universe 4, but that's just my kind of like 3 little like the mini arc plus the 2 specials to make it one long extravagant story where we explain the Beerus and Whis stuff, we explain the rivalry, we get a cool villain in the Parasite, which is probably the best thing to happen in Dragon Ball if it's done right, especially with your concept, and then we all come full circle with one long amazing fight between all these great fighters that we've been wanting to see fight and throw down in an epic showdown.
See, the thing I really, really love about that is that it's 3 specials culminating into one arc. Like one major movie-esque arc that we've never really seen in Dragon Ball, but do interact with the story from time to time. But
it connects with the Tournament of Power. It's continuity. You know?
Exactly. And it's also something that we could sit here and be like, okay, well, this happened in between this arc and this arc or something, and it's not really, I guess, staking a claim into one place or another. It's just something that happened over the course of a couple days, the same way that the Katsunoev arc was, basically. It didn't take a whole lot of time, even though he was around for 4 months training. So, no, I really like that. You popped me, dude. You popped me. I didn't realize that it was going to go that far. But no, like, I really do. Like, the backstory with Beerus is something we definitely need to see. And also using Universe 4, especially with what you said. I mean, when you look back at Universe 4, it really looks like they were planning on strategy or ability more so than strength. If those are the strongest people in the universe, I highly doubt it. In fact, I really highly doubt it. We had an invisible person, that strategy. You had a bug person who couldn't be hit easily, that strategy. You had a character who would improve and evolve during the fight, that strategy. You have someone who can manipulate people's thoughts to make it seem like phantoms of people that they had lost or something, who had disappeared, were back fighting them. That's strategy. I mean, Universe 4 had a whole lot of strategy, not a whole lot of power. So yeah, you're right. Like, there's a lot of reasons to suspect that there are people who are stronger and they were doing something for a completely different reason. All these other universes, every universe has really come in with their own specific sense of strategy for this tournament. Obviously, Universe 7 is kind of whittled apart and become more of a, Lone Ranger, one fight after another type of person, type of strategy. But everyone else has something for them, and it would be cool if that's Universe 4's, and he wasn't really focusing on his strongest fighters, and then he could have someone, for Goku and Vegeta to fight. Whatever.
That's why I said when you brought up the Parasite, that instantly made me think of Universe 4. But see, the thing with the Parasite special is, in my opinion, if we were to really, compare what we've said here, your concept is the best. So when it comes down to that special, I would just make it solely about the Parasite, and I would really hammer down the characterization and the progression of the characters in that, I guess, little mini special / arc, because that to me needs to stay the way it does. We don't really see the unfoldings of that until we get to the Beerus and Whis special, where it explains Beerus' backstory, because then they start peeling back the layers towards the middle, and we can get, that's when people like us would come in and say Catella was behind the Parasite. You know what I mean? That's where we come in and do that. And then the third film is basically concluding everything and us getting that epic showdown.
Exactly. Like that's exactly what it really needs to be, is like, the first two for the vast majority of the second one as well. But the first one is a complete standalone. The vast majority of the second one seems like it's just a special about Whis and Beerus. Like, where did they come from? Where did Champa come from? All that other stuff, this rivalry. Yeah. And then you realize that it's connected in the last frame or something. Like, oh man, like that would have everyone dying. Like, it's like, oh my God. Like, like that would have everyone just so freaking excited, honestly. And it'd be really interesting to see that as well. But I mean, God, man, you popped me. I don't even know where to even go from there. But the point is like, all the other universes, Universe 4 is probably the best place to get this Parasite. I wasn't even thinking about where this Parasite would come from, but coming from another universe based solely on the fact that this is about the Tournament of Power, or at least
they want revenge, it's
something like that. I mean, Universe 7 has taken out so many universes, so yeah, it's possible that one of them wants revenge, and Universe 4 is definitely the place to be and go. But anyway, guys, unless MJ has any last thoughts or words.
Oh no! I mean, I just think this is awesome. Like I'm giggling on the inside thinking about this. I wish it would happen.
I completely agree, man. This is. I know it won't ever happen, but this is something I'd really like to see somewhere in Dragon Ball Super, just to kind of give us an idea of how it all, just kind of give us an idea of character and story and where all these people are, what they're afraid of, and give a way to bring all these characters forward, have them face their fears, at least very quickly. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? Don't forget to go down to the description section below and check out not only the original pitch video if you haven't already, but also go check out MJ. The guy makes some really awesome daily Dragon Ball Super content. You're not going to want to miss any of it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell over by the subscriber button. That's going to notify you every single time I upload. But with that being said, I hope everyone has a fantastic day. It's been real.